Alright, guys, so welcome back to another stream. Today we're going to be officially talking about the Xbox 360 and, of course, the Xbox One because yesterday was a very, very special day for Microsoft and the team that is ahead of the Xbox brand. So, the team that makes the Xbox consoles. It was just a special day yesterday for the Team Xbox because not only was it one game console, but it was two Xbox consoles anniversary yesterday, and those consoles are being the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. So the Xbox One and the Xbox 360 have pretty much been incredible consoles, and really, like, they've sold really well. Now, the Xbox 360 did sell a bit more, better than the Xbox One did, but the Xbox One did okay. It still was a successful console for Microsoft, and when you compare numbers like 20-something million units from the GameCube and the original Xbox especially, and then even 14 million units for the Nintendo Wii U, the Xbox One was basically combined with those three consoles' sell numbers all combined together. And Microsoft has also released some nice, incredible limited edition Xbox Series X, Xbox Ones, and as well as 360s like this one right here, the Halo 4 edition, which we actually got two special editions of this console. We technically only have one, and I managed to take one of my broken Slim 360s into a repair shop store, and they had a broken unfixable Halo 4 edition, and they basically just gave me the parts for the Halo 4 edition on that Slim. So, hey, you gotta take what you gotta take. But Microsoft has done some good limited editions, including this one being the Halo Reach edition, and there's also a Halo 3 edition of the original Xbox 360. And yeah, Microsoft has done really well with the Xbox brand, and it was a big of a flop when it came to the Xbox One from the start of its generation, but the Xbox One still managed to, do good. So let's actually look at some of the Xbox One limited editions right here. There's two Gears of War editions. There's a Gears of War 5 Xbox One X, which we also got one of these. And then there's also a Gears of War 4 Xbox One S, which we actually got two of those. And then there's just a Halo 5 edition Xbox One, and then there's a Forza Motorsport 6 one. Now, I actually do like a lot of these special limited editions, and that's what I've bought them for, is basically to collect. This is one that we don't have at the moment. We probably won't get this one. We've actually started to slow down on it. Right there is a Cyberpunk 2077 edition Xbox One X, and honestly, it looks pretty slick. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. So, yeah, Microsoft, it was just a very special day yesterday, and honestly, I want to go over to show you guys the best-selling games for the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. So this is the best games of all time that sold incredibly well on the Xbox 360, and the first game, technically first two, is the only two Grand Theft Auto games. You got Grand Theft Auto 4 at number one, which makes sense because Grand Theft Auto 4 was released when the Xbox 360 was like 2 years old, so it kind of makes really a lot of sense for them to the GTA 4 to be up higher, because then once Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, a year later, it was ported over to the Xbox One and PS4, but Grand Theft Auto 5 is still up there too. It's still in the second place of the best-selling Xbox 360 game of all time. Then we go down to BioShock, which I've heard pretty good things about BioShock, And then there's the orange box that's got like 3 classics like Portal and a couple other games, and it managed to sell well. Mass Effect 2, gosh, I've heard so many good things about that game. Mass Effect is like one of I've heard mostly positive things about. And then, of course, yes, Skyrim is another huge seller that managed to be a really good success on the Xbox 360. This game, however, is absolutely one of my favorite games, not just for the PS3 and 360 generation of all time, but just in all time in general. Red Dead Redemption is one of the most ever masterpiece games ever when it comes to not just graphics, but characters and the storytelling. Like Red Dead Redemption, I knew it was going to be one of the best Xbox 360 games of ever, and it's actually topped out at 7th place. And then Portal 2, another good game that I've heard good things for. And then Batman Arkham City. I'm not really a big into Batman games, but I've heard positive things with them. And then, of course, the original Gears of War, which I've heard so many positive things with that game. And there's even people that are making YouTube videos still to this day, and they're reviewing Gears of War, saying that, you know, talking about the Xbox 360 and how Gears of War was the first major game that started off the Xbox 360, and it truthfully was a good game. I like Gears of War. Gears of War is one of the best franchises ever, and the original Gears of War still holds up. It still holds a candle to this day. And then the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, another good game. And then right here is technically where Call of Duty started getting way more popularity. It started with Call of Duty 4, the original Modern Warfare, and I totally understand. A lot of people loved that game, not just for its multiplayer, but the start of the single-player campaign of the Modern Warfare trilogy. That definitely does have a place in everybody's heart. The Modern Warfare campaign of Call of Duty 4 is still one of the best games, still to this day, to play. So much great level design, and so many great... It was just a great story after all. And then we got, of course, get to the big one. This is probably the best all-time Xbox 360 exclusive ever. And that, my fellas, is right here, is Halo 3. Halo 3 managed to sell an incredible amount of units, and Halo, it was a big step up in the Halo franchise, and had so many much more graphical enhancements. The graphics look way more prettier and crisper, and you still would be shocked just to put this game in. And especially if you're playing now with like technology that we have now, where we got higher end 4K TVs and higher end 8K TVs and OLED, QLED, whatever the case is, you put a 360 and you put the Halo 3 in, you will still be impressed on how good that game still looks, especially on a 360 console. Not playing on AV, but at least playing on the HD aspects of it. So like you basically plug it in at HDMI in your 360 and then plug it in on one of the modern 4K or OLED, QLED, 8K TVs, you will still be impressed with how good that this game still really looks. But what makes it even better is if you have a Series X or an Xbox One X especially, you can get this game to look even more prettier by playing in native 4K, because it's one of the select few 360 titles that fully takes advantage of the Xbox One Series X power by making the game look much more cleaner. But if you have a 360 and you have a modern 4K, one of the newer recent 4K TVs, or even if it's just a, like, you know, a budget-friendly TV, like the low-end TCL, the game is still going to look impressive no matter what. And then looks like the next game is the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which I've also heard a lot of successful things for this game. It has managed to sell quite a bit of units and managed to sell more units than COD 4, and it's probably still today's best Call of Duty game ever that a lot of people still talked about. And the story was a continue off of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. So this game definitely hits a spot. And it looks like Pac-Man Championship is the next one. And then another great title I will say that I did like a lot, BioShock Infinite. It was pretty good. Now, I've had some friends that say that they didn't like the game, but personally, BioShock Infinite, I personally had every bit of fun with it. And when they gave it out free with gold back in March of 2013, I mean, the game was just so good. Not just because of graphics, but the gameplay and the story of it, and just the universe that it takes place in up in the sky. It's like one of the best games ever made, in my personal opinion. And then next up, a game I never heard is Braid or however you pronounce that game, and it looks like it's an Xbox Live Arcade game. And then next up is Street Fighter 4, which I've heard mixed reviews on and such, but I've heard decent views on it and such. And then now, next up, another big successful title, Fallout 3. Fallout 3 was an incredible game, and it still technically is to this day. Like, this is still a lot of people's favorite Fallout game, and I actually do have a couple of friends that literally say that Fallout 3 is still their favorite, even though it's still really good. But I personally like Fallout 4 a lot, but, you know, a lot of people still like Fallout 3 to this day. And this is another classic 360 title that if you play on an Xbox One X or play it on a Series X, you're going to get the 4K enhancements that it's going to play in native 4K. So, and it's going to look way more cleaner. And this is also another game that takes fully advantage of 4K on the One X and Series X. And another great successful 360 title, Gears of War 2. This is the first Gears of War game we have ever played and we've ever owned. And Gears of War 2 is personally a really good title. This was the first Gears of War game that I have ever played, and as soon as I played it, I liked every minute of it. And then Mass Effect 3, I can't remember if this game is for, if it's got a 4K enhancement on the Series X and the One X or whatever, but I've also heard really good things about Mass Effect 3. And then next up is Rock Band 3, Guitar Hero 2, and then the original Rock Band, and Forza Motorsport 3, which that's actually kind of surprising. You would think that the first Forza Motorsport game on the 360 would be Motorsport 4, because I've heard nothing but pure positive things about Forza Motorsport 4. So that is kind of strange that Forza Motorsport 3 is basically above Forza Motorsport 4. And then next up is Batman Arkham Asylum, or whatever, however you pronounce that word. And then The Walking Dead, the Telltale game series. Awesome freaking game. That game will, like, get you so addictive. Like, you just are so addictive because you just pick wherever you want to go or how you want the story to be, and you just want to see what goes on and then what to do next. Like, I literally got so addicted to that game, and yeah, I definitely will say I had a lot of fun with that game. And then it looks like next up is Rock Band 2 at 28, and looks like Super Street Fighter 4 at 29, and then it looks like Dark Souls is at number 30. So, yeah, so as you can see, and that's another great title. Personally, still one of the best games on the 360, Far Cry 3, and Assassin's Creed 2, another good title, Gears of War 3. So, you can just tell from how good that 360 had a bit of games. And then look, we actually got Grand Theft Auto 4's The Lost in the Dam storyline, and that was an add-on for Grand Theft Auto 4. So even add-on games that got extra storylines are still getting, the best titles ever. So Yeah, so there's been quite a bit of good 360 titles ever. And honestly, yep, Borderlands 2 is another good one that I personally liked. Fable 2 was another one. Left 4 Dead, oh my gosh, yeah, the Left 4 Dead series also did good. And then there looks like there's the last bit of the GTA 4's DLC story. And you got Dark Souls, The Walking Dead Episode 5. Wow, that's just got one part of the game. That doesn't make any sense if it's got the whole game up top. So, yeah. So, yeah, and then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, still to this day, best Call of Duty game ever made, alongside with the new Modern Warfare 2, in my opinion. So, yeah, there's been quite a bit of good 360 titles on here. So, the 360 has officially turned 17 years old yesterday, and it is our favorite game console of all time. So now we're moving on to the Xbox One. So the Xbox One managed to come out. The Xbox One did turn 9 years old yesterday, while the 360 turned 17 years old. And now we're going to look at some of the best Xbox One games and our favorite Xbox One games ever. And for personally, the first three that you are seeing right here, Red Dead 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, and especially The Witcher 3. Gosh, I can't wait till The Witcher 3 comes out on the 14th of December, which is technically 3 weeks from today. I cannot wait to see The Witcher 3 on how good that game is going to look. It's going to look phenomenal on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. But here is some of the top best Xbox One games of all time. The Witcher 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, RDR2. Forza Horizon 4 was definitely a good one. The Halo the Master Chief Collection, I will say, is probably the best all-time Xbox One exclusive ever made. And personally, because it's got all the Halo games combined, and now you get 1080p if you play on a base Xbox One or Xbox One S. You get 1080p clean crisp HD at 60 frames a second. And if you play on the One X, you get 4K at somewhere up to 60 FPS. But what's good about owning a Series X, if you have Halo the Master Chief Collection, you can play Halo Master Chief Collection at 120 FPS if you've got a TV that can support it. So the Master Chief Collection is still getting positive, still getting updates, and this game is literally 8 years old, and it's still getting updated and supported, so that's actually good for the community. So Gears 5 was another good game. Monster Hunter World. Minecraft is just absolutely popular. Like, that game is just never going to get old. It's always going to sell. Minecraft's just always going to be a great game. Forza Horizon 5. This is an Xbox One and Series X title. That also was a great game. And honestly, it's probably the best Forza Horizon game still to this day ever made, alongside with 4, because 4 was so good. Now, Overwatch, it's probably going to change to Overwatch 2 now, because now if you have Overwatch 1, you just get Overwatch 2 for free, even if you have a disc or whatever. And yeah, Skyrim managed to be another one. Halo Infinite is a bit surprising, because there actually wasn't a whole lot of positives with Halo Infinite. Like, there just wasn't all that positive thoughts with it. I personally liked Halo Infinite. The multiplayer was incredibly good in my opinion, but a lot of people just didn't really like Halo Infinite. I like the multiplayer, and I think it's a step up, especially from the Master Chief Collection, from its multiplayer mode, even though it was still good. I think that the multiplayer, the way that the game plays and feels on the multiplayer for Infinite, feels way more realistic and way more smooth, in my personal opinion. And that's actually funny, too, that Halo 4 is actually on there. Sea of Thieves is another good title. I definitely will give it to that. And that BioShock, and it's shown some 360 classic titles on here that we've already announced. Rise of the Tomb Raider, absolutely great single-player story game, and especially for the graphics. The graphics are absolutely great. We are supposed to be getting a new Tomb Raider game announcement sometime here before long, and I think it's going to come out sometime either next year in 2023 or possibly 2024, but we are supposed to get a new I don't know why I was about to say Rise of the Tomb Raider, but no, we're supposed to get a new Tomb Raider game completely. It Takes Two, another good game I've heard good reviews on. Rayman Legends, awesome 2D classic. Apex Legends is also a great title. And Dishonored 2, I've never really got that game, but we should try it. Far Cry 3, oh my gosh, it's still getting some of the best whatever. So let's jump over here. And here we go with the Xbox One's Metacritic top games. And look what you guys can honestly see. Red Dead Redemption 2 is number one of the best selling Xbox One game of all time. Well, best Xbox One game ever. And it personally does. It's definitely a masterpiece. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a really great title. Honestly, probably the best storytelling in a video game ever made. And what's nice about this game is if you want the best console version of it, Xbox One X or the Xbox Series X, and you get this game at a solid, clean 4K. And honestly, the game looks great. Like, it just looks so good. And then Grand Theft Auto 5, which everybody knew that game was going to be up there in the best Xbox One games, because, I mean, why ain't it? It just sells, and it just sells. Like, it just managed to sell 170 million units just this past quarter. And it looks like Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, Resident Evil 2 Remake, also a good game, Forza Horizon 4, let's see, and there's The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Can't wait till that game comes out for the Series X and PS5 and see what they've done with the upgrade. Overwatch, yep, Overwatch is another good one. Now this is a bit interesting. Forza Horizon 3 is above Forza Horizon 5. Now, Forza Horizon 3 is still a good game. It's still a really great Forza Horizon game. I love it, and the visuals still look absolutely great on it. But that's a bit strange that Forza Horizon 3 on Metacritic's reviews is actually coming up first before Forza Horizon 5 does. But we'll continue to move on. That was another good game. F1 2022. Not a really big fan of that. Monster Hunter World is another good game. That looks like a DLC possibly. And then there's the original Monster Hunter World. Ori and the Will of the Wisp. I've heard so many positive things with that game. NBA 2K17. I've never heard really that many good reviews of the NBA series. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Also have heard great things about it. Heard great things about Yakuza Like a Dragon. Dark Souls 2. Stardew Valley. And oh my gosh. Wow. The first Destiny comes up before Destiny 2. Wow, that's actually pretty shocking. And I will admit, Destiny 1 is actually better than Destiny 2 in every aspect of it. Story, gameplay. Well, I mean, gameplay is technically the same, but when it comes to story, yes, Destiny, it comes up first. Fallout 4. So, yeah, you can see a lot of great games here. Minecraft Xbox One Edition, Apex Legends, and freaking Devil May Cry 5, Battlefield 1, Dark Souls 3, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Forza Motorsport 6, Titanfall 2, Destiny 2, Forza Horizon 3, Blizzard Mountain. Okay. And then Hot Wheels. Alrighty then. So I guess it's not just with games either. I guess it's from DLC contents that come with it. So yeah, some of the best games I have ever spent. And I do have to say, Microsoft does have something to be proud of when it comes to the Xbox One and Xbox 360 generation. Microsoft did a fabulous job on the console and the hardware, and especially now with the Xbox Series S and Series X, and even to an extent Xbox One X, games are getting much more better, cleaner looking, and more prettier in visuals, and just it's just getting to that end. So, yeah, yesterday was officially the Xbox One and Xbox 360's 9th and 17th year anniversary. And honestly, yeah, Microsoft does need to feel proud for what they've done. The Xbox One is a great console. The 360 is especially a great console. So, yeah, congrats to Microsoft for making awesome consoles that are still being good, that still rock, and that people still love to this day. So, yeah. Yesterday, I don't know why I said today, but yeah, yesterday, it was officially the 17th year anniversary for the 360 and the 9th year anniversary for the Xbox One. So, keep up the good job, Microsoft. Keep it up, Phil Spencer. Keep making awesome games, nice, awesome hardware like the One X, like the 360, like the Series X and S. Keep making great consoles, Microsoft. So, that does for me for the live stream. Hope y'all enjoyed this stream. If you could, rate, comment, and subscribe. And, yeah, we will see you guys on the next video.